Today we will be talking about refraction of light. Now basically, before we start our topic that is about refraction, we need to know about light. That what is light? So light is a form of energy that enables us to visualize the things in its presence. Suppose if I turn off the lights and there is no light, if we are talking about the night time, today it is day, and if you switch off the lights, then also you can manage to see the things around you because the sunlight is present there. But if it is night and I turn off the lights, then there will be no light at all in this room or in any surrounding around you. So you will not be able to visualize the things because light is not present there. So what is light? It is the form of energy that enables us to visualize the things around us when it is present there. Now we can move to our topic that is about refraction. In your last class, in class 9th or in 8th, you got to know about reflection. Either it may be the reflection of light or reflection of sound. Reflection means the light energy or the sound energy, it strikes the surface and it again comes back to the same medium. That was about reflection. Now we are talking about refraction. I'll define it. The change in direction of the path of light when it travels from one optical medium to another. So this is refraction of light. I'll explain it to you. What is it? The change in direction of the path of light ray when it travels from one optical medium to another. You can notice here that I have used the term optical. Optical term, whenever you see that the optical term is being used, it means that we are referring the medium to be transparent, such that transparent means light ray, the light energy, it can pass through that medium, that is transparent. So any medium from which light can travel, light can pass, that will be stated as the optical medium. So I'll explain it to you with the help of a simple diagram. Suppose this is the light ray and this is the surface. I'll mention it here. What is it? Surface of separation. As the term sounds, separation means this surface, it will separate, it will divide the two surfaces. Suppose the two mediums. Suppose this is air and this is water. So obviously we have two different mediums. From air also, air is transparent to light, so it is the optical medium, and water, through water also light can travel, so it is also an optical medium. So light ray, it travels from one optical medium to another. What happens? This is the surface of separation, because this surface, it is an imaginary surface that separates air and water. I'll draw a perpendicular here. This is an imaginary line that is drawn by us. You will get to know the reason why do we draw this line, this imaginary line. This is known as normal. This line, it is known as normal. That is perpendicular to this surface. It is the normal, it is perpendicular to the surface of separation. Now, as I told you that what is refraction? It is the change in direction of what? Of the path of light ray. Suppose this is the path of light ray. So it should have traveled in the same direction, but this is not our condition. The light ray, it is traveling from air to water. So there must be refraction taking place. Refraction means there will be change in direction of the path of light ray. The light, it should have traveled in this path, along this path. If this medium was also air, it was not water or not glass. If the medium changes, then the path of the light ray, it will change. The direction of the path of light ray will change. So Initially this was the direction of light ray, but as soon as the light ray it enters from air to water, that is from one transparent medium, optical medium, to another, then the light ray it changes its direction. The path, the direction of the path of light ray it changes and it shifts towards the normal. So this is refraction of light. Now let me tell you about some of the basic terms that is related to refraction of light. Very first part is about this light ray, that is known as incident ray. Incident ray, the light ray that strikes the surface, this surface of separation, this is the incident ray. And the light ray that passes to the other transparent medium, other optical medium, this is the refracted ray. Because here, as you can see, the direction of path of light ray, it is changing. This was initially the direction of light ray and now the direction has changed. So this is the refracted ray. I'll mention it here. This is the refracted ray. Now, this is the normal that we have drawn here. I'll rub this part. I think it must be clear to you. This normal, it has a role over here. What? The angle between the incident ray. In the last class, when you got to know about reflection of light, you learnt about angle of reflection and angle of incidence. Here, the angle of incidence, as you know, the angle of incidence means the angle between the incident ray and the normal. This is our angle of incidence. We denote it with this symbol, that is I. And the angle between the refracted ray and the normal, this is our normal and this is our refracted ray. So the angle between the refracted ray and the normal, this is the angle of refraction and we denote it with angle R. So this was the basic part about refraction of light. Now we can move towards the cases in which the light ray, if it moves from a rarer to a denser medium or from a denser to a rarer medium, we move to that part. Here we have three cases in which we have to look for the path of the light ray, the direction of the light ray after it is refracted or after it passes from one medium to another. So what is the case 1? When light ray travels from rarer to denser medium. Rarer means the density of that medium is less. And denser means, as the term sounds, the density of that optical medium is greater, is more. Suppose that the light ray has to travel from air to water. That is from rarer to denser medium. Then what will be the case? This is our incident ray. Suppose that this is air. The first medium, that is the rarer medium, is air. Firstly, we'll draw the normal here. This is our normal. And what we have to look here is the path of the light ray, the direction of light ray. So it travels from air to water. Suppose that the denser medium here is water, or it might be glass or diamond, anything. So when the light ray travels from rarer to denser medium, then it bends towards the normal. Look for it. The light ray, it should have traveled in this direction, along this direction. If there was no change in medium, if this medium was also air and the second medium was also air, then the light ray, it should have traveled along the same direction, along the same path. But the direction of the light ray, it has changed and it shifts towards the normal. It's very simple that why does this light ray shifts towards the normal? Because as you can see here, the water, it is denser than air, and whenever a light ray travels from rarer to denser medium, then the speed of light decreases. The speed of light in air, I'll mention it here, the speed of light in air or in vacuum, it is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. C, it is used to denote the speed of light in air. And the speed of light in vacuum, it is also approximately the same, that is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. Apart from it, in any medium, it might be water, it might be diamond, it might be glass, anything. in all the optical mediums, the speed of light, it will be less than this value, that is less than the speed of light in air. Why? What is the reason behind that? Because the water, it is denser than air, and when light ray travels from air to water, that is from rarer to denser medium, then the speed of light decreases, and that is why it shifts towards the norm. Now, as you know, this is the angle of incidence, this is the angle of refraction. Because this is the refracted ray and this is the normal, so this must be our angle of refraction. Now, this angle, we denote it with angle delta. Angle delta means the change in direction of the light ray. By how much degree, by how much angle is the path of light ray, is the direction of light ray changing? This must be this must have been the direction of light ray, but the direction has changed from this much angle and it shifts towards the normal. So this angle, it is the angle of this delta, angle delta. This is the angle of deviation. So what is it? It must be, as you know, this is the straight line and this is the straight line that is produced here. So this angle and this whole part, they must be vertically opposite angle, that are they should be equal. So we can write over here that angle delta plus angle R, this whole angle, it is equals to angle I, that is the vertically opposite angle. So what is delta here? Angle delta here, that is the angle of deviation. It must be I minus R. So this light ray, it deviates from its original path by this much angle, that is angle delta. So this is our angle delta, that is I minus R. I think it must be very clear to you. Now we move to the next case, that is when the light ray travels from denser to rarer medium. This is the reverse condition. Suppose now this is the first medium. Here air was the first medium and water was the second medium. In this part, we consider the water, that is denser medium. This is our first medium here. It is the first medium. Now again we draw the normal. Keep it in mind, the arrow, it must be given everywhere. It must be given everywhere to give the direction of light ray. This is the direction of incident ray. This is the direction of refracted ray. So in this part, water, that is the denser medium, it is first medium, and air is the second medium. Obviously the light ray, it travels from denser to rarer medium. Then as I told you, when light ray travels from rarer to denser medium, then its speed decreases. And in this case, the speed of light, it will increase because the light ray is traveling from denser to rarer medium. And if the light ray, if the speed of the light increases, then it must move away from the normal, because in this case, as the speed of light decreases, it bends towards the normal. So in this case, if the speed of light ray, when it travels from water to air, that is denser to rarer medium, its speed increases, and so firstly I'll produce this line, that is the original path of the light ray. If this is water and the second medium was also water, then the path of light ray would be the same. It wouldn't change. But it travels from water to air, and so its speed increases when it travels from water to air, and so it will move away from the normal. So this is our refracted ray. So this angle is angle I, angle of incidence, and the whole part, this angle, this is our angle of refraction, because this is the refracted ray and this is the normal. So this is our angle of refraction. Now if you are asked that what is the angle of deviation here, by how much angle, by how much degrees has the direction of light ray, direction of the path of light ray changed? So this should have been the direction of light ray, but it shifts from this direction, from this original direction to this direction. So what is the angle of deviation here? The path of light ray, the direction of path of light ray, it changed from this path to this path. So this is our angle of deviation, angle delta. Now as you can see here, this is straight line, and if we produce this line, this is also a straight line. So this angle, only this part, this angle, I'll make it bold, this angle and this angle, they must be equal, vertically opposite angle. So what do we conclude here? This angle I will be equals to this much part, this angle, that is the whole angle is angle R minus this angle R minus delta. So it must be very clear to you. Vertically opposite angle means this angle and this angle should be equal. What is the magnitude of this angle? The whole angle is R and this much part is angle delta. So this is angle R minus angle delta. If you want to find this delta, shift it this side, on this side, and it will be angle R minus angle I. So in this part, the angle delta, it is equals to angle R minus angle I, and in this part it was angle I minus angle R. Now we move to the case 3. It must be very clear to you if you are asked that what is the cause of refraction. Cause of refraction means what is the cause behind this part, that the path of the light ray, the direction of the path of light ray changes in this part, or the direction of path of light ray changes in this part. What is the reason behind that? Because the speed of light changes. Whenever a light ray travels from one optical medium to another, it might be possible that from rarer to denser or from denser to rarer, but the speed of light is changing here. And as the speed of light is changing here, the path of the light ray is also changing. It is also changing. So this is the cause of refraction. You might be asked about it. You can explain it very easily. The simple reason is that the speed of light ray changes when it travels from one optical medium to another, and that is why the path of light ray also changes. Now we move to the case 3. That is, the incident ray is normal. Is normal means is perpendicular to the surface of separation. So this is our condition. This is our incident ray, and the incident ray, it is normal to the surface of separation. This is our surface of separation. Suppose that this is air and this is water. It might be possible that it is water and this is air. The first medium is air or water. We can assume it anything. Now it travels from air to water, that is from rarer to denser medium, but there will be no deviation in the path of light ray. The light ray, it will travel along the same direction. There will be no deviation in the path of light ray, because the angle of incidence, as you know, the angle of incidence, what is it? The angle between incident ray and the normal. But here, the normal is also here, and the incident ray is also, it coincides. It overlaps. This is the incident ray. The incident ray overlaps the normal. So the angle of incidence, the angle between the normal and the incident ray, here it is 0. And so the angle of refraction will also be 0. When you learn about the laws of refraction, it will be very clear to you that if the angle of incidence is 0, then the angle of refraction will also be 0. So obviously here, whenever the light ray travels from air to water or from water to air, there will be change in the speed of light, but the path remains the same. The path is not changing here. This is a special case for the passing, for the traveling of light ray. When it travels from one optical medium to another, obviously the speed of light changes here, but the angle of incidence remains 0, and so the angle of refraction is also 0. It means that there is no deviation, there is no change in the direction of path of light. In this part, we'll be talking about the laws of refraction. So the first law of refraction, I'll write it here. The incident ray, the refracted ray, and the normal at the point of incidence lie in the same plane. We'll look for it. That what is the meaning of this first law of refraction? We'll understand it. We'll make it clear with the help of a schematic diagram. Here, this is our normal, this is the incident ray, and suppose this is air and this is water. That is, the light ray is traveling from rarer to denser medium. Then the light ray, it will bend after refraction. The light ray, it will bend towards the normal. So this is I, this is R, and you know about this is the incident ray, this is the refracted ray. What is it? What is the first law of refraction? The incident ray, the refracted ray, and the normal at the point of incidence, they lie in the same plane. You know about plane. What is the plane? It consists of two axes, two dimensions. Suppose this is our x-axis and this is our y-axis. So this is a plane. It is a single plane that consists of two dimensions, x-axis and y-axis. So what is it? What is the first law? The incident ray, the refracted ray, and the normal at the point of incidence. Keep it in mind. This statement, it should be mentioned here. It is very much important. The children, they leave this part and they only write incident ray, refracted ray, and normal lie in the same plane. Then I must tell you that what is the importance of this line, of this statement, that the normal at the point of incidence. Suppose you write only this part, the incident ray, the refracted ray, and the normal, they lie in the same plane. Then the normal, the perpendicular, it can be drawn anywhere. So I drew the normal over here. Then now also the incident ray, the refracted ray, and the normal, they lie in the same plane. But this normal, it has no significance. It has no importance here. So the normal, you must mention it here. That where is the normal? The normal that is drawn at the point of incidence. What is the point of incidence? Very simple. This is our point of incidence. The point, the position where the incident ray, the light ray strikes the surface of separation. This is our surface of separation. The incident ray, it strikes the surface of separation at this point. So this is our, I'll mention it here. This point, it is the point of incidence. So I think that it must be very clear to you that what is the importance of this statement. You must mention it here that which normal, about which normal are we talking about? The normal at the point of incidence. The normal, it must be drawn at the point of incidence. Then only our law will be correct. Now, they lie in the same plane. What does it mean? Suppose that. We'll make it clear with the help of this example. Suppose this is our surface of separation. This is our surface of separation. This is the incident ray. It strikes the surface of separation here. And after refraction, the light ray, it either moves in this direction or in this direction, in any direction. As per the conditions, you know the conditions, rarer to denser, denser to rarer. So let us make it clear that the light ray, the incident ray, and the refracted ray, along with the normal at the point of incidence, they should lie in the same plane. Suppose this is the incident ray and we draw a normal over here, over this point of incidence. And after refraction, the light ray, it travels along this direction, But the incident ray, this is the surface of separation. The incident ray, the normal, and the refracted ray, they will lie in the same plane. I think it must be very clear to you. This is a plane. This is a plane. My hand. Look over my hand. This is a plane. So the incident ray, the refracted ray, and the normal, they should lie, the three of them, they should lie in this plane only, along this plane only. It is not possible that the incident ray is in this plane and the refracted ray, it will be in this plane or in this plane. or in this plane, it is not possible. The incident ray, the normal and the refracted ray, all of them, they will lie in the same plane, along the same plane. I think it must be very clear to you. Now we move towards the second law of refraction. What is it? What is the second law of refraction? I'll write it over here. The ratio of sine of angle of incidence to the sine of angle of refraction is a constant for a given pair of media. So it must be very clear to you that we are talking about the pair of media. Pair of media means we have two mediums, rare, air, water. That is, one of them is rarer and the other is denser. So what are we talking about? The ratio of what? Sine of angle of incidence to the sine of angle of refraction. So you know about sine, you must have learned about trigonometry, about these trigonometrical ratios in your class 9th. So this is the angle of incidence, and we have to find the ratio of what? Ratio of sine of angle of incidence. So this sine of angle of incidence to what? To the sine of angle of refraction. Now the ratio that we have to find is the sine of angle of incidence to the sine of angle of refraction. So this ratio, it is a constant. Constant means the value of which cannot be changed. For a given pair of media, suppose that we have a given pair of media here, air and water, then this will be a constant, and this constant, it is denoted as mu. The symbol used to denote this constant is mu, and this constant, I'll mention it here, the constant is known as refractive index of second medium with respect to first. So firstly, let us understand that what is the law of refraction here, the second law of refraction. The ratio of sine of angle of incidence to the sine of angle of refraction, it is a constant. And what is the constant over here? This constant, we generally write it, denote it with mu, mu to 1. That is this is the refractive index. This constant, this is a constant, and this constant is only known as refractive index. It is the abbreviation of refractive index. So this constant, what is this constant? This constant is known as the refractive index of what? Refractive index, keep it in mind, you have to read it as refractive index of second medium with respect to first. The medium, that is the second one, we have to find the refractive index of the second medium with respect to first. We'll have a simple example here. Suppose this is our first medium. The air here is first medium and the water here is second medium. So what can we write here? The refractive index of second medium. I'll write it here. Refractive index of second medium. That is, what is the second medium here? That is water. We'll denote it, or I'll write it the whole part. Refractive index of second medium. That is refractive index of water with respect to first medium. Here the first medium is air. So the refractive index of water with respect to air, what is it? It is sine I by sine R. Now, if you are told that the refractive index of water is 1.5, is 1.3, or the refractive index of glass is 1.5, then if the first medium is not mentioned to you, then this refractive index is also known as absolute refractive index. What is absolute refractive index? I'll write it over here. Absolute refractive index. Absolute refractive index. If the first medium is air, then the refractive index of any medium is known as absolute refractive index. Now, it must be very clear to you that if the first medium is air, then the refractive index of any medium is known as the absolute refractive index. Such as I have wrote it here that refractive index of what? Of water with respect to air. Then this is our absolute refractive index. And if I write it over here, refractive index of water with respect to glass, then here the second medium obviously is water and the first medium is glass. First medium is from where the light ray is passing through and in which medium it is entering. So the light ray, if it travels from glass and it passes to water, it enters in water, then water is the second medium and glass is the first medium. But this refractive index, it is not the absolute refractive index. It will only be pronounced as refractive index of water with respect to glass. But this is not the absolute refractive index. But if I rub this part, if nothing is mentioned here, if the first medium is not mentioned, then it is assumed that the first medium is air. And this is known as absolute refractive index. So if I write over here refractive index of water or absolute refractive index of water, both the terms are same. If absolute refractive index is given to you, then it must be very clear that the first medium is air only. And if it is not given that absolute refractive index is there, you are only told that we are talking about refractive index, then also you assume that the first medium is air and its value is 1.33. For water, the refractive index or the absolute refractive index is 1.33. I think the two laws of refraction, it must be very clear to you.